Hi, welcome to my channel. We are learning about social influence, right? So it's about today we are going to learn about conformity. So you already know what is social influence because nowadays we all are just using social medias, and also we are influenced by many factors, people. So therefore, everyone, most of the people, you already know what is social influence, right? You are influenced by other people or other person. Okay, so conformity is a form of social influence where a person change their values, attitudes, and behaviors to fit in with the majority group despite being given no instruction to do so. That's a conformity because of the obviously you are agreeing majority people, right? So therefore you just conforming those people or those anything, like you just mostly just thinking that, for example, if you take the latest trend, then you are conforming. You are just a majority people using or following that trend, then you also follow, right? Nowadays you can see the how many viewers you can just see that if you want to do product research, or if you want to see any latest trend or any food, then you just see how many people like this, how many people use it. So that is called the conformity, right? So let's move on to the next level. So today our learning object is identify and understand the different types of conformity, analyze how the Asch experiment provide insight into conformity, and analysis of the strengths and the weakness of Asch conformity experiment. Okay, so let's move to the topic. So what is conformity? I already explained you, right? So, but I just give you the definition. What is conformity is, remember this, don't forget this, a form of social influence where a person change their values, attitudes, and behaviors to fit the expectation of the group. That's the conformity, but you can write it in your own word, which is like, conformity also social influence, right? And you can remember, so conformity also social influence where a person change their values and attitudes and behaviors to fit with the expectation of the group, right? So you remember these things. Let's move on to the next level. We can see the three types of conformity. One is like compliance. The compliance is adjusting your behaviors to fit in with the group even if you privately disagree. This is of course a short time, right? This is not long time because you need to just stay a short period of time and conform their behaviors, right? For example, laughing at joke you don't find funny and pretending it's funny just to blend with the group, because you most of the time you just undergo these situations even though if you are agreeing with your friend's opinion or anything, but still you are just following and or you are just imitating their behaviors, because the thing is you need to just stay in that group, so you don't want to exclude it from that group, so therefore you are just conforming, right? That's called the compliance, but it's a short period of time. Compliance is most of the time is short, right? Remember, short period of time. You are just conforming, okay? When you go to the next level, identifications, uh, conforming to be a part of a group you value, okay? So identification is you are just conforming the part of a group you value. Like, think about your professions. Like, profession means doctors, any professions, right? Professions. You can think about teacher, and the teacher is showing a certain behavior, isn't it? Certain behavior when she was in the school, isn't it? So she need to follow their rules and regulations, and also she need to wear a proper cloth. She need to wear the clothes, and also she need to just act and follow the school code of conduct, right? So this is a identification. That's what it's called, identification. This is one of the example. So, for example, this is also the part, a kind of compliance, but it's a little bit longer than that. So in the day, certain times you obviously act as a certain role, right? Therefore, you are conforming to certain role. Role is playing major role here. So major part here. So you are conforming to role. Therefore, you are acting that. Okay, that's called the identification. Next one is the internalization. The internalization is like, it's not like a short period, it's a long period of time. Sometimes it's forever. So it's just like, you just, genuinely just means you are just accept that one in your life and adapting that certain things, or adapting group norms, that group norms and beliefs. They have internalized the values, attitudes, and behaviors of a group, right? This is often referred to as a conversion, like you change completely. Your behavior will be changed completely, not short period of time, because what? Your belief, your attitudes, everything, you are changing everything permanently, right? Not temporarily. So therefore, it's called embracing religion, right? And also political beliefs. Previously, you have different political beliefs. Yeah. Now you change it into different political beliefs, right? That's really important part. So really remember these things, like, the internalization is permanent, right? It's not like short period of time, right? Remember, we are learning about conformity. We are learning about three type of conformity, which is compliance, identification, and internalization. When we go to the next level, have you ever done something just because everyone else was doing it? Why? Because why we are doing it? Because we have some purpose, isn't it? Therefore, we are conforming, right? So therefore, we just conforming for certain things, for certain people's behaviors. So everyone in their life, they are obviously conforming for something, like, yeah, for example, what we conforming everyday life. So obviously you are, in order to fit in the group, you are following your friends attitudes, isn't it? Attitudes and behavior. Why we are doing it? Because you need to, fit in the group, isn't it? I just write fit in the group. Next one is, so I just explained here, I have given the explanation, like, because of the social press, one idea, and wanting to fit in the group I previously mentioned. The next one is believing the group has more accurate information, because you think like you don't know much, your group people or your friends know better, so therefore you just, conforming them. And also next one is avoiding conflict, right? So these are the reasons where you are conforming, right? Why you are conforming. The next one is, there's a case studies one. Imagine you are part of a group project and the majority of the group agrees on a decision you feel is incorrect. You are confident your idea is better, but everyone else seems sure of theirs. What factors might lead you to conform to the group's decisions even if you are disagree? Just think about it. It's a question mark. Just think about it before I give you the answer. Just think about why you are agreeing, why you are not disagreeing, why you are not disagreeing, why you didn't just, tell your answer straightforward. So there's some factors there, isn't it? Let's go to the factors now. So in this case, when you see that in this scenario, several factors could lead someone to conform to the group's decision even if they believe it to be incorrect. So as I previously mentioned, this is kind of normative social influence or compliance, right? So because this occurs when someone conforms because they want to be liked or accepted by the group. In the group project, the individual might fear being judged, criticized, or excluded for disagreeing with the majority, so they go along with the decision to maintain harmony and avoid conflict. This is actually, I just already mentioned that this is the compliance. It's a type of conformity. Remember it. So compliance is normative social influence, right? Remember it, okay? So this is one of the reasons, normative social influence. The next one is the informative social influence, which means this happens when someone conforms because they believe the group knows better or has more accurate information. The individual might doubt their own judgment and assume the majority must be right, especially if they perceive the others as more knowledgeable or experienced. So this is also happen informational influence. Maybe it's a compliance. It's a compliance, but it's a you think like your group member know better than you, therefore you are agreeing with them, right? This is the other reason, which is like you are criticized by other people, and also you are excluded. They are excluded from the group, therefore you are agreeing and conforming, right? So this is the scenario. If you write this one, right type of this type of answers, mention it, then you will get your mark, right? So we are going to learn about the very popular experiment, which is Asch's three-line study to investigate conformity in 1951. Oh yeah, this is 3 lines on your right-hand side and the 1 line on your left-hand side, and we can see the experiment. The procedure is like 123 male American students took part what they thought was a vision perception test, like they came for the vision perception test. They were asked to say out loud which of the 3 comparison lines matched standard line in length. They had 6 Confederates, yeah, which is actors given an unanimous incorrect answers before they answered. Each student did 6 practice trials and 12 critical trials. So this is, of course, he has conducted the research, and he initially just uh, ask the participant to which line is the matching for this line, right? A, B, C. So the which line is matching this line? Obviously, everyone know this line C, isn't it? But in the experiment he done that time, most of the people are not agreeing this one. They just go for the wrong answers. So he found that majority people are just conforming to the, I mean, like most of the participants are conforming, right? Conforming to the wrong answer because it's group pressure. The majority people just told the wrong answer. They were following it because even though they know that's the wrong answer, okay? So this is the basic idea of his experiment. Let's go to the next slide. Why the study was done? Asch wanted to see if people would agree with the group's wrong answer even when the correct answer was obvious. So I already explained this one. How many people participate here? Look at this, 123 American male students. This is really, remember this one? And he divided them into group. Each group consists 5 to 7 participants here. But only one was real participant. The others were Confederate actors. So most of the time when the researchers, psychologists obviously do the research, then they just send the actors, right, to with the real participants, right? So in this experiment also the Confederates, each of the group has a Confederates, right? So that's the main idea of this experiment, to find the conformity. Okay, so let's go to the procedure. How he done it? I already mentioned participants were shown a line and asked to match it with the correct line from set of comparison line, 3 other lines of different lengths. They had to say aloud which comparison lines match the original in the length. The Confederates intentionally gave incorrect answer. Confederates here is actors. His people, I mean, they are not the participants, right? They just came for the, the experimenter, right? They just act like a participants, right? Confederates intentionally gave you incorrect answer on these certain trials. This caused many actual participants to conform and choose the incorrect answers. The finding was shocking. because 37% of the time participants conform to the group's incorrect answer. 75% of the participants conform at least once during the experiment because the 75% just gave the wrong answer, even though they know that's a simple, easy task. Even a little 3 years old kid also tell the correct answer. But in that situation, the participants just told the wrong answer, and 25% didn't conform at all. Okay, so this is the finding. This is also important part. You have to remember these ones, right? So most of the time, there's some questions, in your part one, paper one, you will find this type of questions. So remember these things. The conclusion is the participants said they privately trusted their own opinion but publicly agreed with the group. Why? Because they don't want to just stand out within the group, and also uh, they think like it. They don't want to, tell, because they think like this is not like a serious, situation. It's an experiment, so therefore they just agree with the majority people, even though they know that's wrong answer, right? The studies show the power of social pressure and how it can lead people to go along with the group even when they know the group is wrong. Okay. So when you see that experiment, we need evaluations. So evaluation is really important. Any research in psychology, we need to just not you can't just accept it. You need to find the strength and the weakness of this experiment, right? So we need to see the Asch experiments line study. We need to see the strength of the study. So they demonstrate the power of conformity. Yeah, that's right. And it was control experiment design. It's like no just any variable influence. So therefore it's a laboratory experiment. So the result will be very reliable, and it's also replicable, right? So you can just redo it, right? So that is the strength of this experiment, our experiment. This was the strength of this experiment. The weakness is the artificial setting is like, the people, as I previously mentioned, people are not that much of caring about to get the correct answer, because this art, they already know this is kind of research. So therefore, they're not that much of bother or focused to just, act like normal. So that is the one of the weakness. Strength also the artificial setting, like in laboratory setting also, we can control the extraneous variable, like, other influence is, not affecting the experiment. But in the meantime, artificial setting also just allow the people to not to just, focus more and, participate in the experiment, right? The next one is the ethical concerns. Yeah, so the participants were called for the vision perception test, but the test was a different things, like, they tested differently, so it's not ethical. So when you do the psychological research, you have to just tell the actual, the purpose of the experiment, right? You can't just lie the participant, because they just come for the uh, vision perception test, isn't it? So therefore they think like they take it easy, right? So the next one is limited generalizability. This is really important, good point, because you can't just generalize this experiment to the other population, because in this experiment only the participants, male and white participants, American white participants, there's no woman or girls, other gender took part in this experiment. So it's a gender bias there. So it's we can't apply this one to every all the population, uh, yeah. So therefore this is limited generalizability. Yeah, so this is the weakness of this experiment. So individual activity give two limitation of Asch research into conformity to the majority. So I already mentioned in your the previous slide, but I just want to give you the answer here when you go, because of these type of questions comes. So make sure to just learn this question. It's very easy. The limitation is, we can divide like a limitation, as I previously mentioned, uh, generalizability. Asch only studied male American, as I previously mentioned, students, which means finding may not apply to females or people in other cultures. This makes the research androcentric and ethnocentric, so we can't assume everyone would conform in the same way. Yes, so only the American students and the male participant and also the male. Sometimes the female react different way, right? So we can't, generalize this one to we can apply this to other community or the other sex group. So this is like one of the weaknesses. The limitation is weakness. The other one is limitation two is artificially and validity. The line judge task was artificial and took place in a control lab setting, right? In real life, conformity often happens in more meaningful situations. So that is, as I previously mentioned, the participants are obviously not that much of concern or just focused in this research because they know this is kind of research. It's not like real life. So therefore they just make it like a take it easy. So participants may not have taken the task seriously. This lowers the ecological validity of our findings. Also, at the time of the study in 1950s, America during the Cold War, people were under social pressure to conform, which means the results may be child of its time and not generalizable today. Yeah. So during the Cold War time, the people don't want to just stand out, right? Therefore, obviously, they just conform it. So this is the limitation for this study. So make sure to find out the limitations. At least you need to find the three limitation and the three strength, main strength of this experiment. So definitely this type of question will come in your exam. Yeah, make sure it. So this is the other activities here. Make a poster group activity. So here, imagine you are in a situation similar to our experiment. What factors might make you conform or resist to the group's influence? Provide example. Let's go to the other one and see. Yeah, the same situations we are. When you go to this, the slides, I would be more likely to conform if the majority of people gave the same wrong answers because I would feel social pressure to agree with their opinion. If the task was difficult and I wasn't sure of the correct answer, I might go along with the majority view. Also, if there was unanimity, everyone is in the group agreed, it would be harder for me to give a different opinion because of the three things allow you to just accept the wrong answer. The one is majority, isn't it? Conform, like I would be more likely to conform if the majority of people gave the wrong answer because of the majority people are saying that. Therefore, you think like you have social pressure here, therefore you agree. That's the one point. If the second factor is like, if the task is difficult, so and you are not sure about it, about your correct answer, then you might think that other people know better than you, therefore you go along with the answer. The next one is if there was unanimity, everyone in the group are agreed, you are the only one disagree. So you think like it would be harder for me to give a different opinion because all the people are just agreeing you are the only one have a different answer. Therefore you are not just you just go for majority people. This is the situations that comes in your life, then you are just going for the wrong answers, right? So on the other hand, when I say I might resist, some people, this is happen normally, but in some people, sometimes, on the other hand, I might resist if had an ally who agreed with me. So in this situation, obviously, if you one person are just following your answer, or yeah, like they are just thinking your way, then because this would give me confidence to state my opinion. Like if at least one person just accept your opinion, then you obviously you have confidence to tell your opinion, isn't it? People with an internal locus control, like it's a special word, internal locus control, who believe they control their own actions. Like, some people are individual difference there, thinking, even though all the people are agreeing for things, that the one person, I mean, locus uh, control their own actions, are also more likely to resist group pressure, right? They are resist means, they are not affected by the group pressure. They have their own opinion, right? So, for example, if I felt sure I was right about a maths question, then I would resist if others disagreed. Like, if others giving a other answer, then you think like obviously your answer is correct. Then those people are just, resist to go for the majority, I mean, like majority influence, right? Major social pressure. How can us finding about conformity be applied to understanding behaviors in workplaces, schools, or online communities layers? So we can see these things happening some sectors, like, the conformity, even though that's wrong, but you obviously go for them, because workplaces, when you see employees might conform to the majority opinion in meeting, even if they privately disagree, to avoid standing out. Yeah. Example, everyone agrees with the manager's idea, so others don't speak up with criticism. So even though if manager is saying some point, but you are not agreeing with the point, but still you are just, following his opinion, because obeying his opinion, because other people even same thing, they are following it, so you are following it, right? Then other example is schools. Students may conform to peer pressure. For example, if most of the class misbehaves, others might join in even if they know it's wrong, to fit in. So it's just like, for example, it's happened, in most of the secondary school. Then if you are just, if someone just, um, anything like misbehave in the school, then you obviously you follow your, the batchmates, isn't it? Like, you also show the misbehaviors, everyone will join the, fit in the group. So it's happening. One of the example for why you are conforming, and also this is connected to the Asch experiment, right? Which is the wrong things, but you are still doing it because of the peer pressure. Online communities, people may conform to the majority opinion on the social media, like comments and trends. For example, if everyone supports or criticizes a celebrity, individuals might follow along to avoid rejection, right? So the online trend is nowadays this influence many youngsters. So if anyone's just, as I said, like for example, if everyone supports or criticizes a celebrity, then you are going to follow. You are going to just follow and follow and follow. So you just see the followers, then lots of people are following. So this is the right opinion about this, the celebrity. So I just want to trust, and I just want to criticize, or I just want to accept. So this is social media, and schools and the workplace are conforming, right? The wrong answer, right? Wrong way. Yeah. In real life scenario, we are just doing it. The next one is describe the procedure of Asch conformity experiment. This obviously you know that Asch recruited, remember, 123 American male students who were told they were taking part a Wissen test, not this experiment. They don't know about Asch is going to test this experiment, conformity experiment. They wrongly rewrite the participant, and they are said that he's going to do vision test. Each real participant was placed in a group with 6 8 confederates. Even the real participant didn't know there will be an actress, right? If they know, then they obviously tell the right answer, right? So so was placed in a group with 6 to 8 confederates who had been instructed to give wrong answers, right? They were shown a standard line and 3 comparison lines and asked to state which comparison line matched the standard. On 12 out of 18 trials, the Confederates deliberately gave the same wrong answers. Like, most of the time, they have given the wrong answer. So psychologically, we are going to psychology, isn't it? We are learning the psychology. So psychologically, obviously, even though first or second trial, um, obviously we think like our answer is correct. But most of the time, many times the confident gave the wrong answers. Then the participant might think, obviously, okay, I want to change my mind and I just go for them. I'm wrong, right? So while the real participant answered second to last to test whether they would conform. Like the real participant was said like a, before the last person, right? So therefore there are other person before him, 3 or 4 participants before him. The 4 of them are giving a wrong answer. Therefore, he also just giving the wrong answer. If the participant set sit before first, then obviously the participant will say the correct answer, right? So whether they would, yeah, that's the procedure. You need to remember this procedure. Okay, thank you for listening my slides, and I hope this conformity, uh, I mean the conformity lesson was, help you for your A-level exam, and yeah, it give you some kind of, fact about conformity. Um, Thank you for visiting my channel, Mind Matters channel. So I hope I'll see you in another clip. Thank you. Bye now.